talking about a home. Talking about me and you. Things we'll do. I said a home. Talking about a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
From the people who bring you Charleston Home and Design Magazine, the Charleston Home and Design Show, the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Charleston's online home show, newhomecharleston.com, this is Talking About a Home. Talking About a Home is a home show on the radio, featuring interviews with local experts, home tips, trends, and ideas you need to know to make your home better. I'm Michael Blaze with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is Talking About a Home.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. In addition to our radio show Talking About a Home, we also publish Charleston Home and Design Magazine, winner of the American Society of Interior Designers Excellence in Design Media Award, and also the American Institute of Architects Charleston Chapter's Honor Award for Journalism. You may also be familiar with the 3 custom home shows we organize, the Charleston Home and Design Show, which is coming up January 24th through the 26th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Also, Charleston's only open-air home show, which takes place every April at Family Circle Cup Stadium on Daniel Island. And also the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which takes place every August. Well, today we've got a great show lined up for you. Today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance in Mount Pleasant, and we'll be talking to Nancy Swift with Swift Appliance. Also, Kevin Sheely with the Kevin Sheely Allstate Insurance Agency. Also, we'll be talking to Chris Mincy with Best Distributing. Brad Hill, catchers, will be stopping by, and that's always interesting to hear about some of the things you need to do for your home to keep the critters out. And also Tyson Sarkala, with Seaport Homes. Well, enjoy today's show and have a great weekend. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance, located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Nancy Swift with Swift Appliance. How you doing, Nancy?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Nancy, tell everybody about Swift Appliance.
Swift Appliance is a family-owned business. I'm the owner. My husband is my installer. We do service the Mount Pleasant, Daniel Island, and surrounding areas. And we sell all the different brands of appliances, and we do our own in-house installations.
Gotcha. So what are some of the brands that Swift Appliance sells?
Let's see. We carry all your Whirlpool brands as well as also all your GE brands. But in addition to that, I'm the only authorized Gen Air dealer in the area as well as Bertazzoni. I also carry your Ulines, your Marvells for under counter. Little bit of everything.
Gotcha. Well, what's a hot seller these days? What are people buying complete kitchen sets of appliances, or are they buying individual appliances here and there?
Right now we're in cooking season, so everybody's gearing up for Thanksgiving, and because of that, our best-selling range in the place, actually there's 2. One is the Bertazzoni range. Bertazzoni range right now comes with a free hood until the 15th of this month, so it's a huge seller for us. The other one is the GE Cafe. It's a dual fuel range, and it has a baking drawer, unlike the standard configuration where they put the small oven on top. This one has it at the bottom, so you have a full-size oven, and we sell a ton of them.
Gotcha. And so with the holidays coming up, if someone wanted to stop by Swift Appliance and place an order, they'd be able to get the appliances installed?
Absolutely. Right now, everything we're doing right now is for the installation for Thanksgiving, and we're ready to roll. So we have all of our Black Friday pricing right now, so everything we're getting is at great prices. You don't have to wait until the day after Thanksgiving to go shopping. You can cook on it for the holidays, and we're ready to get everything installed for you.
Good deal. Well, Swift Appliance, how long have you been here in Mount Pleasant?
We opened our doors July of last year, and we've been catering very well to everybody.
Uh-huh. And have you always been in the appliance business, or what's your background, Nancy?
We've been doing installation of appliances for the last 20-something years, so we are well versed in the appliance installation end of it. I've been in sales my whole life, so this was the best opportunity for us.
And your husband is a builder, is that
General
correct?
contractor
General
by
contractor?
trade. However, right now he's just doing installation of appliances.
Gotcha. And a long time ago, you told me a story about one of the reasons why you got into the appliance business, based on his experience as a general contractor.
Yes, as a general contractor where we used to live, he used to go to the local appliance place and did their high-end installs for 18 years. So he knows how to modify cabinets, cut granite, and all those things that are included in it. So he's well versed in that. And for a couple of years, I was his sidekick. So I understand the installation end of it and can handle myself very well. So that way, when a customer comes in, I know the best questions to ask them to make sure that whatever we're going to do is going to work out for them.
What are some of the challenges that maybe homeowners aren't aware of when it comes to the installation of appliances?
So many of the manufacturers change and modify sizes, whether it's the size of a microwave with a trim kit, the size of a cut for a standard cooktop, or the size opening for a wall oven. So there's many different aspects of things that we have to think of. Whether you're vented out, did you want to change to gas from electric? There's just so many different options and so many different things that we really need to think about beforehand.
Gotcha. And as far as some of the other appliance stores in town, do they all handle their own
I am the only one that actually does the installations in-house. So, and this means that it's a one-stop shop. You come into us, we educate you on whatever it is that you want to purchase, make sure that you're purchasing exactly what it is that you want and that'll fit your lifestyle. And from there, we will deliver and install on the same day. So we take care of everything A to Z.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm sure we have some listeners today who have some appliances that they've had for a while, and sometimes you don't really know what you're missing. You know, when you have an older appliance, what are some of the features, and you can kind of just, it's up your choice, talk about you know, whether they be kitchen appliances or washer dryers, or what are some of the features that comes with like a new appliance versus maybe one that they've had in their house for a while?
Well, obviously, I guess the best thing in what's going on over the last couple of years has definitely been the induction cooking, which is just a much faster way to cook, especially if the only thing you have is electric and you can't go to gas. It's the next best thing. It's much faster cooking. It's much faster everything. Obviously, optimal is to be able to cook on gas on top and then have an electric oven. So people need to understand the options that they have. The convection that they have now is so much better. The Bosch dishwashers out right now are so quiet you won't even know that it's on. And the introduction of the top load with non-agitator for your laundry. A lot of people are getting rid of that front load they have now and going back to the top load. Non-agitator 5.0 capacity is what GE just came out with. So they're great. They really are.
Well, what is you know, a lot of people are familiar with convection. What did you call that?
Induction.
Induction.
Induction would be on your top. What it does is it works with magnets. I tell customers, go home, take just a regular magnet, test all the bottom of your pots to find out. You need something that has a magnet to it, and that's how it works. You can actually lay a dollar bill down on the cooking surface, put your pot on top of it, and it won't do anything to the dollar bill. It's all worked on magnets.
And, you know, everybody wants to, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you say, why can't I get this food that the way it's cooked in a restaurant at home? Are you going to get that kind of an experience?
Well, you're going to get, I mean, induction cooking is really just a faster cooking, and convection in an oven is also, it makes it so that it cooks faster at a different level. Most of them have an auto conversion for the convection, which is great because most people don't know how to convert the two. So they have a lot of auto correction, so you know exactly what you're doing. But they all are great opportunities, especially now. You know, most people are switching if they have electric to gas because gas is really the easiest way to cook.
What do you say to the thought out there that people may have that, well, I'm going to get a better deal if I go to a big box store because they've got the national buying power, and you know, they've got the lowest prices. An independent store, an independent appliance store like Swift Appliance is not going to get this the favorable pricing that I'm going to find at a big box store.
And that is so not true. We have the opportunity to buy at very good prices so that we can go ahead and give that price to the customer. In addition, we get many, many, many rebates that the big box stores don't get, that they just give to the small independents. So therefore, you're saving even more money. So between all of those, we actually are extremely well priced. Again, in-house installation. And if you have a problem, you're calling me and I'm taking care of you, not a 1-800 number that you'll be on hold for hours. So it's really why you come to a small independent. First of all, you want to keep it local, keep the money in the community, and that's where it's staying when it's here. So besides that, we're here for you. We want to educate you.
Well, good. Well, looking around your showroom, I see lots and lots and lots of stainless steel. Is there any other type of surface other than stainless that people will be switching to anytime in the future?
GE just came out with slate color. I've been told in other markets it does extremely well. Not a huge seller for us down
Slate
here.
being kind of a grayish color?
Yes, exactly. It's like a grayish brown color. And in addition to that, really, you know, you have the customer who wants white or the customer who wants black, and they're traditional. There's a lot of ones out there now that are white with some stainless steel. Whirlpool has the Ice collection that kind of incorporate both, and they're very modern looking. But honestly, my biggest seller is by far stainless steel. There's rumors that white is back. But again, you're either already there and you're either a white or a black customer who, you know, wants either a white kitchen or a black kitchen. The nice things are like Jen Air has a floating glass. So you can get white floating glass, so it's not a stark white. It's very pretty. It looks great in a white kitchen. So there's many options out there. But do I see the trend changing? No.
Gotcha. All right. Well, how can folks get in touch with Swift Appliance?
Well, we are located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant, in the same plaza as Eco Fitness and the bowling alley. Or you can reach us at 843-388-7283. Or you can visit us on the web at www.swiftappliancesc.com.
Okay. Well, we have been talking with Nancy Swift with Swift Appliance. Thanks so much, Nancy, for hosting today's radio show, too.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance, located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Kevin Sheely with Allstate Insurance. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing good, Tim.
Good, good. Kevin, tell everybody about Kevin Sheely, Allstate Insurance.
Well, the Kevin Sheely Agency has been in business for 14 years now, or we're in our 15th year now, I guess, and we have been providing insurance to the Lowcountry for all of that time, and we have built our business. We actually started from scratch, which means we didn't have any customers, and we're insuring probably about 3,500 homeowners all across the Lowcountry right now, with homeowners, auto, boat insurance, RV insurance, life insurance, and even some financial services.
Gotcha. All right. Well, why would someone want to choose Allstate Insurance versus maybe one of the other type insurance companies around?
Well, with Allstate, we have local agents that are all across the country. And in the Kevin Sheely Agency, we have 7 agents, 7 licensed agents that are experts in the insurance field. So you have someone here locally that you can sit down and talk with. For example, homeowners insurance can be a little bit complicated now. There's a lot of different coverages within a homeowner's policy, and it's not something that you can just jump online, buy, and understand. A lot of times you need that advice from an expert to sit down. Everybody has individual needs, and it just depends on your individual situation, and our agents can really sit down and give the advice that you need to make sure you're covered properly in case there is that event where you have a claim, whether it be a fire, whether it be a storm, or whatever may happen with your home, to make sure you have the coverages that you need.
Mm-hmm. What are, insurance, I think, for a lot of people is something they really don't like to spend a lot of time on, and that can bite them if there is a problem down the road. And what are some of the common things that you've seen homeowners maybe overlook or neglect when it comes to their insurance?
Well, there's a couple of things. You have some basic coverages on your homeowners. You have your dwelling, of course. You want to make sure you have the right amount of coverage on the dwelling. And then there may be cases where you need some extended coverage on your dwelling as well. For example, let's say we have a major storm. Well, at that time, it may cost more because the demand is so much higher that you have a lot of people looking for help. The demand goes up. Of course, the cost for everything goes up, whether it be labor or lumber or whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure you have plenty of coverage there. Sometimes policies are limited on what you have as far as, say, jewelry or fine arts or silverware. You want to make sure that you're covered properly for what you have. So if you have jewelry, make sure you have that jewelry covered for exactly what it's worth so that it can be replaced on there. Sometimes on our policies, there's loss of use coverage, which means that if you are not able to stay in your house and you need to stay at a hotel or an apartment or some other living arrangement, make sure you have the right amount of coverage. With our policies, you can actually choose that amount of coverage that you have, and you may be in a situation where you say, well, I don't even need loss of use because I have family living here in the area. Well, our policy will allow you to say, okay, I don't really need that. But you may be the opposite situation where you have a large family, maybe you have a couple of dogs or a cat or something, you have a situation where in a loss of use situation you're going to need to have some extra funds to help take care of your family. Well, we can do that too. We can increase that amount as well.
Gotcha. And what should homeowners do in terms of documenting the items that they have in their homes, their possessions?
Yeah, having a home inventory is a great thing to have. It'll make at claim time, it makes things so much easier. Allstate has what we call the digital locker, which is an app that you can put on your phone or your iPad or any kind of tablet. You can put it on your computer. And what you do is you go around, you can take pictures, and it saves it inside this app, and you can get as specific as you want. That way, if you do have a claim, we have it right there on the computer, and we can actually pull that up for you. You can bring your phone in and show us, and it's going to make that claim so much easier because you have it documented exactly what you own. Now, we do an annual review with most of our customers, or at least we offer an annual review, and if they want to come in and review their policies, a lot of times we'll take that home inventory and put it in our computer so we already have it, so that if that customer's comfortable with us having that information, come claim time, we already know and we have the information. We're able to move that claim along much, much quicker.
Do they need to keep receipts or anything like that, or just an inventory of the items?
Yeah, if you have receipts, that certainly helps. At claim time, a lot of times that Allstate adjuster is going to take your word for what you have. But the more specific you can get, if you have serial numbers, if you have the year, make, and model of what you have, it'll make it much, much easier, because if someone who's at home right now listening closed their eyes in the room that they're in right now, they probably would not be able to name every item that's in the room. When you take that you're going to be in a situation where there's anxiety involved, there's certainly going to be things that are left out. So if we can get that information ahead of time, it's just going to make it that much easier.
Mm-hmm. What about did you mention photographing items or videotaping or anything
Yeah,
like that?
if you can have photographs or video, that would be real good. One thing that you may want to do though is, if you have those things, you want to keep them in a safe place, because obviously if you have a theft situation, you don't want someone to know what they missed out on. So you want to keep it in a safe place away from your items.
What are some of the typical claims that you have experienced here in the Charleston area? What kinds of things, we haven't had a hurricane in a while, thank goodness, but what are some of the claims that you hear from your customers?
Yeah, theft is a big thing, fire is a big thing, and we've had quite a few fires from lightning strikes lately. We've had quite a few. So, and theft claims, and that can be theft in your automobile, can actually be covered sometimes under your homeowners, under your contents coverage. It can also be, obviously theft within the house. But those two things, really, we've had some claims locally here lately.
People may be familiar with Kevin Shealy with Allstate Insurance being at the Charleston Hurricane Expo that we is an annual event that we organize. And last couple of years, Allstate has brought some of their claims vehicles, right? Special vehicles that they send out. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, our catastrophe team is a group of hundreds of insurance adjusters that all they're doing is waiting for the next catastrophe. And, hopefully they're sitting around not doing anything, but as soon as a catastrophe happens, whether it be a hurricane, whether it be fires in Colorado, maybe it's tornadoes across the Midwest, whatever may be happening, that's when they spring into action. They take these large mobile units that are full of computers and all the technology that we have in any of our claims offices, and are able to go in to the local subdivisions, and usually they'll set up at some kind of large retail center, but they have different sizes. Some of them are able to actually go down and maybe get into a community center, maybe set up at the local swimming pool there, and are able to help people in a neighborhood that's been affected the most, so that people are able to go very, very quickly. A lot of times in a hurricane situation, our catastrophe team actually gets to the scene before people actually get back, and they're surprised to see the big Allstate mobile units there in their neighborhood, and are able to pull in and able to get checks right away. Another thing we have in the Kevin Shealy agency too is we have some claims cards that are basically debit cards that we're able to load on. If we know that somebody is not going to be able to stay in their house, we can go ahead before we even set up the claim. We're able to hand them these debit cards. Maybe that's able to maybe get them some food, maybe to stay at a hotel or just go out to eat, whatever it may be that they need, just to get them cash in their hand right away. So a couple things that's unique about our agency and about Allstate.
Yeah, and I guess that is one of the things that people have experienced, not necessarily with Allstate, but in the past when they've had a claim, having to wait for a settlement and things like that, and it sounds like Allstate is really paid attention to that and tried to mitigate that with trying to process claims very, very quickly.
Yeah, we want to be the first in. A lot of times we're there, before even the Red Cross or before FEMA and some of these other people come in, and we work very, very well with them. Sometimes we're sharing power supplies and sharing other things that are needed with these other groups, and but usually Allstate's first on the scene.
Well, any kind of trends with respect to insurance that you're seeing that might be coming on board in 2014?
We're real fortunate, the Kevin Shealy agency, to be associated with Allstate, because Allstate now is seeing a need to really go after the homeowners market, go after that property market. And if you pay attention to advertising on TV, you'll see that there's a lot of property advertising, a lot of homeowners advertising for Allstate. And it's at a time when some other insurance companies are really focusing more on the auto insurance in some of these areas. So we're real fortunate that Allstate is really starting to open up in the Charleston area, all up and down the South Carolina coast, and really wants to lead with homeowners. They feel like if they can go in and they can establish that relationship by offering homeowners insurance. Then hopefully that car insurance, that boat insurance, the life insurance, and other types of insurance will follow, and we'll build that relationship with our customers because we are their insurance agency.
Is that something different that's happened than in the past? Allstate has not written homeowners policies as much on the coast, so they're increasing that?
There were times in past years where Allstate kind of wanted to limit their amount of exposure along the coast. As hurricanes got more intense, became bigger, and there became more and more hurricanes, in the past, Allstate has kind of said, well, we need to control the amount of exposure we have. But right now, Allstate is really wanting to grow in this area, and we have a competitive rate, and we have great coverages, and we're really trying to get that word out to let people know that, yeah, we want to be the home insurance company and want to take care of our customers.
Great. Well, tell everyone how they can get in touch with the Kevin Sheely Agency with Allstate.
Yeah, our local number at the Kevin Sheely Agency is 843-573-4777. You can email me personally at kevinsheely@allstate.com. That's KEVINSHEALY@allstate.com. And our website is allstate.com/Kevin Sheely. So certainly reach out if you have any questions. Certainly contact me, and I'll be glad to help.
All right, terrific. Well, we've been talking with Kevin Sheely with the Allstate Kevin Sheely Insurance Agency. Thanks so much, Kevin.
All right, thank you, Tim.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance, located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Chris Mincy with Best Distributing Company. How you doing, Chris?
Good, Tim. How are you?
Good, good. Chris, tell everybody about Best Distributing Company.
Yeah, Best is a roofing, siding, and window distribution company. We sell to homeowners, contractors, both residentially and commercially.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of a larger corporation called the Beacon Corporation, Beacon Roofing Supply. We're nationwide. Best itself was bought by Beacon probably about 10 years ago, and we have about 35 branches throughout the southeast, and then Beacon has locations nationwide.
Gotcha. Okay. Where is Best Distributing located?
We are off Aviation on Technical Parkway, right off the access road there off of Fane Road.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So a homeowner can visit the Best Distributing location, and that's in North Charleston, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And they'll be able to purchase the roofing materials, siding materials, windows. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. All of our windows, we sell Simonton windows, so they're all custom orders. So either the contractor or the homeowner can give us the size and dimensions, and we have some computer programs that will allow us to put those estimates together for the homeowner.
Gotcha.
But we also do have a showroom, so they can come in if they're looking for siding, different siding profiles, look at different options of shingles. We do have a showroom there that they can come in and look at the samples.
Okay. What let's stick with roofing for a second. Like, what types of roofing are you seeing homeowners choose these days?
Basically there's kind of two types of shingles. There's 3-tab shingles, and then there's the architectural shingle. Certainly more and more going towards the architectural shingles. They have longer warranties. Most of them call them lifetime shingles now, even though most of those warranties are prorated. You really see most people going more towards the architectural shingles today.
What does the architectural shingles look like?
They're more of a, rather than if you look at a 3-tab shingle on a roof, it looks very flat, makes the roof look very flat. The architectural shingle gives the roof more of a dimensional look to it, almost more of like a 3-dimensional look to it.
Almost like there's some more texture.
That's correct.
On the roof. Are architectural shingles much more expensive than the regular 3-tab?
They are. They'll typically run you somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 a square more.
Okay. What does that add up to for the typical house?
Few $100.
A few $100s.
Yeah.
But they're you know, I guess you probably would say roofing materials can be very attractive, and I would agree with you.
Right.
But some roofs, and with the architectural shingles, that is a nicer looking roof than just the flat three tab that you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. You go through a neighborhood and you can really tell which houses have 3 tabs and which houses have architectural shingles, and and it really varies kind of by the builder sometimes, particularly in Charleston. You'll go in neighborhoods that you might have $300,000 houses that have 3 tabs on them, and $300,000 houses that have architectural shingles on them. So it really kind of depends on the builder. Some neighborhoods are all 3 tab, or some will only allow architectural shingles. A lot of a lot of neighborhoods, homeowner associations will only allow architectural type shingles in the neighborhood. So that kind of drives the buying decision.
Gotcha. And what is the brands that Best Distributing carries for the roofing that we're talking about?
Yeah, we carry GAF, Certainty, Tamco, and Owens Corning shingles.
Okay, so it's not just one; there's several to choose from.
That's correct.
What's going to is the architectural shingle? It looks like it's a beefier roofing shingle. Is it going to last longer than the 3 tab?
Yeah, typically they will. They have different asphalt bonding agents in them, and certainly they're warranted. Like I said, most of the architecturals are warranted, what they call lifetime now, which is kind of the old 30-year warranty, whereas a lot of the 3-tab shingles are going to get like a 15, 20-year warranty typically.
We're 25 years removed or so, 24 years removed from Hurricane Hugo. So a lot of those homeowners have Hugo roofs. Their roofs were replaced after Hugo, and now it's getting to almost 25 years later. They're either starting to experience problems, or
Right.
they're going to experience problems.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're definitely seeing that. I mean, the business has been pretty good. Charleston, not unlike a lot of areas, has experienced some downturn, but probably not to the significant degree of some of the other markets. And we kind of see that through our business all along the coastal region. Has probably weathered the storm a little bit better. So business has still been pretty good. There's still a lot of new development in Charleston, a lot of new neighborhoods being built throughout Charleston region. And but the re-roofing side of the business, I think you're exactly right. There's a lot of homes that are kind of starting to hit that window over the next 5 to 10 years, and we've already seen a lot of those are being replaced. So, the really important thing I think for the homeowner is shingles are important, but certainly picking the right contractor also is really important.
Sure.
And how long your roof will last, how well it's installed is gonna play a big part into how long that shingle lasts.
Right. Are there any telltale signs that a homeowner would notice that would indicate that they need a new roof, other than all of a sudden they start experiencing a leak or that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's 2 things. Certainly, as you said, a leak was one area, but noticing you clean out your gutters, you got a lot of granules in there, so granule loss is a big tell that your shingles are starting to deteriorate. You'll notice on a lot of roofs that are older, you get a lot of that black streaking going down the roof, so you kind of see some of that asphalt that's bleeding out and deteriorating out of those shingles. And so those are kind of 2, granule loss and the heavy streaks on your roof are kind of some heavy indicators that you might be starting to have some problems. Right.
And if you have been in your house for 20, 25 years, you can probably remember when your roof was replaced, but a lot of people are buying a formerly owned house, and
right.
So they don't know when the roof was, how old the roof is, or anything
right.
like that. When it comes to choosing a roofing material, if we do have hurricanes, are there any particular shingles that will hold up to hurricane force winds that Best Distributing sells?
Yeah, I mean, most of the architectural shingles, particularly some of the higher end shingles, will carry a 130 mile an hour wind warranty. Those are typically the highest warranties that we see today. Most of them still have, even though they say they'll go to those, most of them still, like most insurance policies, they have those natural disaster clauses in them. So, you kind of, just because the shingle can hold it if it does blow off, I think that
there's a little bit of a
natural
waiver.
disaster issues you got to kind of take into consideration.
Okay, so do you recommend people spend extra money on a
Absolutely. You still want to get the best roof you can and protect, your house is the biggest investment you have, so you want to, it's like I said, it's funny a lot of times that you'll have a homeowner might have a $500,000 house and they're in there trying to pick out the cheapest shingle that they can possibly get, and it's like, so you're going to spend $3,000 instead of $3,500 or $4,000 to protect your $500,000 investment. Doesn't always make the most sense, but everybody's still looking for a deal sometimes.
Right. What if I would guess that a homeowner might save a little money if they were to buy the roofing material from Best Distributing themselves and then maybe hire a contractor separately from that. Do you folks recommend? Do you have a list of roofing contractors that people could call, or how?
We do. I mean, we certainly have our customers that we can certainly recommend. Certainly recommend that most homeowners do their homework on their roofing contractor. Ask for references, call those references, talk to homeowners who have purchased roofs, drive by, look at those roofs. You certainly, because that is the biggest piece of it, you do save a little. Obviously, if a contractor's marking up their materials, you can buy them from us. A lot of contractors prefer you do it that way. I mean, we have a lot of contractor customers who really don't want to be involved in the material piece. And so, one of the services we offer is that we do load the shingles on the roof. Most contractors in this market prefer to have us load the shingles onto the roof.
So they could buy the materials, the roofing materials from Best Distributing, and then you folks will deliver it to the home and put them right up on top of the roof.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's awesome. What kinds of trends are you seeing and will be coming our way in 2014 as it relates to roofing?
Yeah, I think probably one of the biggest things you see is just there's a trend towards this kind of next generation of shingle, which is what they call a pro shingle or a high def shingle, much like having high def TV versus regular TV. There's technology out there today that makes the granules more vibrant, gives them even more definition than what they had in the past. And so these high definition shingles, or these, some of them call them their Pro Series, but it's that, top of the line shingle, and you really see more and more people seeing that the dollars that you're spending aren't that much more to really get a completely different look for your house and for your investment. So definitely see more people spending a little bit more money to get that really vibrant look to their house.
Well, tell everyone how they can get in touch with Best Distributing.
Yeah, we're located at 1040 Technical Parkway in North Charleston, and our phone number is 572-7400, and we'll be glad to help you with any roofing or siding or window issues that you have.
All right, terrific. Well, we have been talking with Chris Mincy with Best Distributing Company. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance, located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Brad Hilfrink with Creature Catchers. How you doing, Brad?
Good, Tim. How are you today?
Good. Brad, tell everybody about Creature Catchers.
Well, Creature Catchers is a locally owned, family-operated business that does wildlife control, rescue, and relocation. We actually specialize in removing animals humanely.
Gotcha. What kinds of animals are we talking about?
Oh, my gosh. Tim, it's everything, buddy. I mean, if it lives here, we catch it, we track it, and we know how to get rid of them. It's kind of neat right now. It's winter, right? So we're getting all these real cold spells at night. So we're getting a lot of activity, a lot more calls lately. But one of the neatest things is right around this time of year, we get more calls for flying squirrels. And for the rest of the year, flying squirrels aren't that big of a problem. But right now, I bet you I got at least a dozen jobs going where we're catching little flying squirrels.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a flying squirrel in Charleston. Are they in just certain areas? Or?
No, they're nocturnal, so no one sees them. They only move around at night.
Okay.
And they're about the size of a chipmunk. So they're real small and real quiet, and they're just neat little animals. You know, they got a little flap of skin from their wrist to their ankle, so they glide. Yeah, and so people don't even hear them when they come in.
And so they're nesting during the day, and then they get out during the evening. And what's the impact that they're making on people's houses?
Well, you know, it's pretty much the same thing as anything. Droppings, you know, destroying insulation, chewing of wires. That's pretty much the biggest problem, is chewing wires and chewing water lines. That's probably where the bulk of, how would I say, damage from any of these animals come from.
They've got so much to chew in nature. Why are they choosing to chew water lines and insulation?
Well, a water line in your home, as you run hot water through it on a cold day, it will actually condensate a little bit, and therefore it will be lickable. There's a little moisture on it. The animal starts to lick that water line, those plastic water lines, and then eventually they just start chewing. Once they find water inside that line, they're going to chew that line every time they see it. As far as wires are concerned, well, wires, the white insulation on a wire in your house is made with a type of glucose. So a lack of better terms, it's sweet. So as the little bugger starts chewing on it, it's almost like, you know, me and you know sugar. These animals don't know sugar. So it's like the sweetest thing around to them, so they keep chewing. And they expose wires, and before you know it, you have problems.
Right. Well, you did mention that we are getting into the cooler weather season, and what are some of the telltale signs that people might experience to recognize that they have some sort of creature in their house?
Well, you know, the number one thing is you hear something. You hear it in the attic, you hear it in the wall, or something like that. A lot of people, I tell them, when you're doing yard work and you're around your house, take a look at your house. Look at places. If you start finding black marks, like around holes, stuff like that, you know that's a fur oil mark, and that's an animal going in and out every day. A lot of animals live in our homes, and we never hear them. I mean, ever, you know. But while you're looking around, if you can put your thumb in it, you can get a rat the size of a squirrel in it. So it doesn't take much of a hole to have a critter problem.
Now, I'm sure you experience this quite a bit, where a homeowner, creature catchers might not be the homeowner's first phone call. They think they can take care of this problem themselves, and so they go to the hardware store, they buy some rat poison, or they buy some traps, and they put that out. You probably see the poison and the traps all the time, right?
All the time.
Because they don't necessarily work.
No, not at all. Poison is, quite honestly, the worst idea. We don't even carry it in our trucks. All it does is put dead animals in your walls, under your house, and in your attic. Probably 50 to 60% of our calls come from a dead animal smell, and it's a homeowner who poisoned a rat. Then we got to come find it. And then, of course, we critter-proof the house, and then the problem is over. You know, as far as trapping, when it comes to rodents, you can trap your entire life. They never stop coming. They have a pheromone trail that leads all the rest of the little buggers straight to your house. So once you catch one, you're just killing time till the next one shows up.
What's a pheromone trail?
A pheromone trail is it's a liquid dropped by the animal, whether it's in its urine or off of its skin itself, that is a communication device to all other critters. So, like, you know, you catch 3 or 4 in your house and it's quiet for a month. Well, there's a trail out in your yard somewhere that another rodent will walk by, smell that pheromone, and understand that there's shelter this way. and he'll follow the same trail to the same hole and even live in the same nest in your house.
You've told this story before about, you know, the process, what a rat will do, like you know, they find a way into your house.
Sure, how the
and-
scout comes out and finds your home.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You know, the colony is made up of a lot of animals. All the biggest males, we call them, as humans, we call them scouts. They go out, and those males are the ones that find your home. They'll stay in your home for a few weeks, usually 2-3 weeks sometimes. And then all of a sudden, now you have his wife and all of his kids. And all of us know that 2 rats can turn into 300 rats in 1 year.
What are they doing for the 2 to 3 weeks that they're living in your house before they invite their families in?
Basically, what they're doing is just like me and you, they're making sure it's a good area. There's no predators. There's no hawks. There's no snakes in your attic. They want to make sure that there's no rain. It's just like me and you looking for a new home. We take a couple weeks. We look up different areas. Once we're happy with it, then we bring our loved ones with us. And the scouts are the same way. They go back and forth from your house to the colony every single day. You catch that scout, all of a sudden he doesn't come to the colony. The colony's going to want to know why. And that's when they go out following his trail right back to your house.
Now, I've seen a variety of critters in the back of the Creature Catchers pickup truck. I've seen opossums.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen raccoons. What other types of animals have you relocated?
Oh, my goodness. It's everything. You know, towards the end of summer, snakes are really big. In the last 2 months, we've done 40 venomous snakes. Pulled them all out of people's homes, cars, stuff like that. But, I mean, I got to tell you, if it lives in Charleston, we're catching them. You know, we're moving them around. We're relocating them. I do work with vet clinics that take care of the sick ones. But mainly we specialize in catching and relocating.
And what about the rats or the mice? Do you relocate those?
No, sorry. They're illegal to relocate. I can catch them live, but I have to let them go in your yard. And most people just deny that.
Right, yeah. What about talk about critter proofing one's house and also trends that you might be seeing in 2014?
Well, you know, a critter proofing is basically we go from the peak of the roof all the way down to the ground. Any hole 1/2 inch or larger, we close it up anywhere on the house. One of the trends I have been seeing a lot, I guess, the last 6 months and stronger into next year, is that a lot of people are being proactive about it. They actually don't have the problem yet, but their neighbors did or a family member did. So they're actually getting their homes critter-proofed early. A big part of our business is new home sales. People who buy brand new homes, the first thing they want is the home critter-proofed, whether there's a problem or not. And it seems like we're getting a lot more of that in the last year or so.
People might say, I don't have a problem, therefore I don't need my house to be critter-proofed. But you mentioned earlier in the interview that if there's a thumb-size hole, that and you know, the reality is there's probably lots of access points around the average house. But
That's
if there's
right.
a thumb-size hole, a rat or a mouse, that's big enough for the rat or mouse to get inside.
Absolutely. And these little buggers got nothing better to do with their time but find that hole. So a lot of homeowners have the problems where they do it themselves. They seal up everything they see, but they don't realize for the next few months that same animal is searching every inch of your house to find the spot that you missed, which is why we give a 1-year warranty. You know, when we critter-proof a home, you're done. That's it. You know, for the next year, we'll come out for free and take care of it if we miss something. And it is challenging. You know, the rodents are probably the biggest problem in Charleston, the rats. Their bones are not like me and you. Their bones are a little closer to the bones of like a shark, a lot more cartilage in them. So in other words, the top of the skull to the bottom of the jaw, if they can fit that into a hole, the entire rest of the body will fit in. Just being that flexible, they can bend their bones a little more than we can.
Wow. Well, how can folks get in touch with Creature Catchers?
Creature Catchers, the best way to get a hold of us is with a phone call, 843-205-0551. quite honestly, I just prefer talking to people. We do have a website at peacefulpestcontrol.com. You can get information there. But like I said, just give us a call. We do free inspections on anything local. We don't believe in charging someone for the privilege of bidding their work. And, you know, I have no problem teaching homeowners how to do things. We offer a lot of services for these problems.
Good deal. Well, we've been talking with Brad Hilfrink with Creature Catchers. Thanks so much, Brad.
Thank you, Tim. Have a good day.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Swift Appliance, located at 625 Johnny Dodds Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Tyson Sarkola with Seaport Homes. How you doing, Tyson?
I'm doing great.
Good. Tell everybody about Seaport Homes.
We build custom homes from the ground up, and we also do remodels. If you buy an older Charleston house and you want to add a master bedroom and bath, we can do that full remodel and addition as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so Seaport Homes, you folks can help homeowners with new construction as well as remodeling their houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What describe some of the projects that Seaport Homes has worked on in the past?
Okay. Yeah. Last year we built a spec home. We just it was out of pocket, and it was a 2250 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and we sold that at the end of 2011, and then the last project we just finished up was a 1,200 square foot ranch that we added a master bedroom and bath addition to it, and just kind of did a full upfit on it.
Gotcha. So I know market wide things are picking up. Are things picking up with Seaport Homes?
Yeah, and I've been talking to a lot of other trades and realtors, and it looks like the market's doing real good.
Gotcha. Well, with the holidays coming up, people are maybe looking to do some last minute projects around the house. Is that something that what could someone call Seaport Homes and ask you to do before the holidays?
Yeah, we're totally available right now, and if somebody was wanting to do a bathroom remodel or a kitchen remodel next month or two, we would just go out, meet them, give them an estimate, and go from there.
Gotcha. And with if let's say somebody wanted to maybe get their floors refinished or maybe redo a bathroom, that kind of thing. Is that something that Seaport Homes could help them with?
Yeah, we definitely could. We work with a lot of local subcontractors in the area, and we would have them come and give us a price and see what we could work out.
All right. What's the process if somebody is looking to maybe build a new house, and they call Seaport Homes? Kind of describe the process that they would go through from talking to you first to moving into that new house.
Well, a lot of different ways. Right now I have a client that owns a lot in Mount Pleasant, and we're in the process of getting plans drawn and getting all the structural engineering and all that ready, and first thing is just get your plans finalized and a contract finalized, and then once that's all signed, we get the permits and we break ground and just start building. Usually, we can get a house done within 6 months, depending on exactly what it is. But
how do you help a homeowner, like when it comes to like figuring out the allowances for when and people who may not have built a house? An allowance is, to describe what an allowance is.
Yeah, an allowance is appliances. Let's say for a kitchen, we're discussing what kind of appliances and whatever you need. I just get ideas from the homeowner, what they want and what they like. If they want stainless steel or black appliances, and I'll I'll put, say, a $5,000 allowance on it, and that would give them the ability to just go to the appliance shop and kind of make their selections within that $5,000. If they go over, by $500, they would just write the check and make up the difference.
Gotcha. Okay. And how do you? This is one of the things that I think homeowners that are looking to build, they struggle with is sometimes it's not feasible for them to go shopping way ahead of time for their house. They don't know exactly what size house they're going to have, and so they don't really they don't always set the allowances to correctly, so that sometimes they might be under. I've heard stories where builders might put in a budget like $2,000 for lighting for their entire house, and you can buy a chandelier for $2,000 alone. Yeah,
that's I take that into consideration. I try to be very reasonable and very fair, and I understand that somebody's going to spend $500 on a chandelier, and I feel like we give realistic allowances for lighting and appliances, because building houses, I just know what the market costs. And
mm-hmm. What do you do when a homeowner changes their mind, or is that a change order?
Yeah, depending. I mean, if it's a large change where it's moving walls and a big expense, yeah, we would just do a change order and agree on the price and make sure everything looks good before we continue. But if it's something very small and minimal, I try to keep it as simple as possible and just work with the owner and just say, look, we'll give a little here and take a little there.
Gotcha. You're kind of a young guy. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Okay. How long have you been in the building business?
I've been in construction pretty much my whole life. I'm a fifth-generation builder. I built homes with my dad in the upstate. I've probably got 50 or 60 homes under my belt, and since the downturn in the market, I just kind of moved to a new area, and I wanted to try it out down by the coast and get going on my own.
Gotcha. What are you? Would you consider yourself to be a hands-on builder, or like if a house is under construction, how often are you coming by the house to check on things?
I'm there every single day. If usually 8 to 5, I pretty much stay on top of that job all day. That's my job. I feel like as a builder, I want the best for my client, and that's the number one thing that I look out for.
Do you ever because as a builder, you're supposed to be looking out to make sure the subcontractors are doing what they're supposed to. Do you ever find any problems where the sub has maybe not attached something correctly, or that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. We do use good subs, and I typically don't have a whole lot of that, but if I do catch something, I'll point it out, and I'll make some adjustments and just work with them to get it right.
Gotcha.
Before we put sheetrock up, I go through the house very thoroughly with the client and make sure it's 100%.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, how can folks get in touch with Seaport Homes?
We got, you could just call me direct. My cell is 843-754-0400. And also on the Charleston Home and Design magazine, we're in this magazine. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Give that phone number one more time.
843-754-0400.
And you can always go to charlestonhomeanddesign.com, our website, and we've got a good list of local home professionals, and Seaport Homes is there, and you can get contact information for Seaport Homes on charlestonhomeanddesign.com as well. So we have been talking with Tyson Sarkela. Did I pronounce that right?
Sarkela.
Sorry about that. Tyson Sarkela with Seaport Homes. Thanks so much, Tyson.
Thank you.
I'm talking about a home, talking about me and you, the things we'll do. I said a home, I'm not talking about a one-night stand. I want to be your man. I said a home.
You've been listening to Talking About a Home show on the radio. Talking About a Home is brought to you by the publishers of Charleston Home and Design magazine and the organizers of the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Custom Home and Remodel Show. To make contact with any of the companies featured today, visit newhomecharleston.com, Charleston's online home show, and home to over 200 local home-related companies motivated to work with you.